All right, Kevin McCloskey and Billy Woodward coming with you with StableTalk. Billy, the final game of the regular season. The Stallions fall here at East Duplin and Beulaville by a score of 28-20. A game that went literally down to the final plays.
It did.
And when I look around here, I see a good sign. I see a lot of Stallion players who are upset. They're not happy with a moral victory, in quotes.
Right.
They're upset because they know this is one that they played with the defending state championships for 4 quarters and could have won this game.
Winning 14-13 at halftime and going on. Yes, they're in this ball game, and they have a lot to look forward to next week wherever we go for the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Critical in the game, like you mentioned, we held the lead at halftime. We're up actually 14-13. Yeah. We're up by that. East Duplin scored a late touchdown late in the first half to even make it that close. The third quarter, both of us traded punts, and then East Duplin put on a very lengthy drive that ate up pretty much the rest of the entire quarter, converting multiple fourth downs. One of them was a little questionable, seemed to be aided by a little pushing, which is not allowed at the high school ranks. But kudos to them. They did punch it in and take the lead. Then the Stallions had to respond and struggled a little bit for a while.
Yes, they did. You're talking about that long play?
Yeah.
15 plays, and they took 7 minutes and 56 seconds off the clock.
Yeah.
Same thing that they did a week ago at James Keenan in the third quarter. Took off almost 8 minutes in the third quarter and then took the lead.
Okay. And then in another pivotal drive later in the game with about 9 minutes to go, what was an obvious fumble and then sort of chaos ensued for a while. East Duplin was driving down around the Stallion 30-yard line. Ball came out. Stallions came out of the pile very quickly with the ball. Everybody's jumping up and down. Referees ruled in favor of East Duplin inexplicably. Lots of conversation took place. Minutes later, finally, the referees huddled again, and then they still came back and awarded East Duplin the ball. Do you have anything else that you were told up there? Or?
No, we weren't told anything. No one on that side said anything about it in the box, but it was obvious for both of Melvin and myself there that he never had control of the ball from the time. He was looking for the ball like this, with his head over here, when the ball was already out of his hands. He never had control of the ball from the get-go.
Yeah, the one partial explanation I got from secondhand on the sidelines was they didn't deny that it was a fumble, but they said it was East Duplin recovered the ball on the ground, which doesn't make sense because I got our guy going to the ground and coming away with it immediately. So either it was our ball or it was the shortest scrum in the history of high school football. Be that as it may, the very next play, their big back killed us. Sean Davis, the sophomore. He has the body of a collegiate, if not an NFL running back, and he's got 2 more years. Yeah, he just pounded us. He ripped off a 30-yarder for a TD. But I never felt the game was over. They're up 2 scores, and we proved that it wasn't over.
And the fans, I kept watching the reaction of the Panther fans sitting in front of the box and to the left and right some. They were not happy until right at the end here. They were sitting there. This reminded me of last year in the first round of the playoffs at Whiteville. Whiteville sat on their hands till right at the end of the ball game when they finally put it away. They know they got away here tonight with a win. I said East Duplin escapes with a victory tonight.
Yeah, escapes is the right word. So what happened at the end of the game was, after that, when the Panthers went up by 2 scores, the Stallions made a valiant drive of their own, pounding the ball with a long drive, cut it to 1 score. The PAT was blocked, so now we're down 8 with about 3 minutes to go. Rassico ordered a very nice onside kick. The Stallions recovered and advanced down to about the 25-yard line or so before just literally ran out of plays and the clock ran out. But, yeah, as you mentioned, I don't want to be anybody that's matched up with the Stallions in the playoffs because this team can play with – you remember, this is East Duplin, a team that's lost 1 game in 2.5 years. They're defending state champions. And we play on senior night in the final game, in a game that was – they weren't taking this for granted. This was a very key game for them as well. And we took them to the wire.
Well, you know, as I said, a win by us, and we end up second place. They end up in third place. Unless Wallace Rose Hill were to lose, and then we got that 3-way tie again as back in 1997, and we don't even want to talk about that. So anyhow, from the 3-way tie there. But yes, they had a lot on the line here tonight. Nothing was given to them in any way. The Stallions played a heck of a ball game here tonight, and the only thing I hope is the Stallions get respect for it, and they don't send us to either Northeastern or Reedsville again, to be honest with you. And that would be our luck again.
Yeah. So the Stallions finished the regular season 5-5,
Right.
4-2 in third place in the conference, in arguably the toughest 2A conference in the state, from top to bottom, or at least at the upper top anyway. And so the playoffs await, and we'll see what happens. It's
one other thing.
Yep.
Tonight was game number 600 for the Stallion football program.
Oh, wow.
600, and with the loss, I was hoping I was going to be able to put one more win to it, but with the loss, the Stallions are, if I can find my stats here somewhere with Jethro Bodine, I've got it here somewhere. All right, here we go. 436 wins, 164 losses, 772.
Yeah.
That's not bad. And last I knew, the Stallions were still 6th in the state in winning percentage.
Yeah. Ain't too shabby, and I expect those numbers to go up next year. So
Yes.
we'll see what the playoffs await. Stay around your computers and your phones and see how the playoff pairings await. And we don't know what's going to hold don't know if we're going to be there next week or not. Long story, but
Yeah.
take care and go Stallions.